The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, good Thursday morning, everyone. And as always, welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. Today in the Coffee Time crew, we got Carol and my brother George. So good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
¿Cómo estás todos aquí? Bienvenidas. I don't know what the hell I just said. Hello.
It's buenos dias.
I know. I messed it up.
No, he does that on purpose, Carol. So
No, I did it. I said it fast, and I meant to say buenos bienvenidas. Lord have mercy with me.
Yeah, it's your story. Tell it any way you want, George.
Today's Tricky Thursday. That's why. Or what is it, Carol? Tricky, whatever it is.
Thankful Thursday. That's what we try to call
Thankful
it.
Thursday. There you go.
Okay.
But, maybe you having a tamale Thursday. I don't know.
This is going to be a long show, guys.
It could even be a conspircy theory
Tequila
Thursday.
Thursday.
Conspiracy theory Thursday.
The tamales, the chicken tamales, Miss Carol.
Nah, I'm not a tamale lover. I prefer the taco. No. I had a bad experience with them the first time. I ate them in the shell. If you don't know how to eat
Lord
them.
have mercy.
Yeah, well, I'm not the only one in the world, George.
No, I know. I've seen it. But trust me.
Well, y'all better than me. I've never ate the whole. But anyway.
Well, I had chili and cheese on top of it. I'm just doing what everybody else did. I didn't know that they had took something out of the middle of it.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, we don't have any interest groups today. It's just that first Thursday. So again, as I always say, if you got a idea for an interest group, and here's a slot right here, first Thursday, and we got a few empty days in here where you can slide in and do something, but. Anyway, if it's something you like to do, info@blindunited.org. As always, I've been saying this a lot as well lately. Man, run over to our website, www.blindunited.org. Check out our new website, man. Everything you want to know about Blind United is there. Our schedule is there. We have clickable links in there that you can join the meetings, plus all the other stuff that we got going on about Blind United. It's all there on the website. So go check it out. Let us know what you think about it, So anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump into this first article. This first one is a little bit long. We've been talking about for a long time now, it seems like, since it became available to us, AI, artificial intelligence. Well, there's several different models. There's several different, what we want to call it. A lot of these models are designed to do specific tasks. So anyway,
Mr. Davis, do any of those models have swimsuits?
No, it's not Sports Illustrated, George.
Okay, that's what I'll think about. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. I know.
It'd be AI Illustrated. There you go. Start a new concept.
Okay.
Hey, you invited me to the show.
Anyway, let's jump into this article and let's hear about the various types of AI, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
Hello, Blind United crew. Grab your first cup and join the Coffee Time crew, because today we're pulling back the curtain on one of the hottest topics in technology, artificial intelligence. We hear about AI everywhere, from chatbots to self-driving cars. But what exactly are the AI models that power these amazing innovations? Let's break down the differences in AI models to make sense of this rapidly evolving landscape. At its core, an AI model is essentially a computer program that has been trained on a massive amount of data to learn patterns, make predictions, or generate content. Think of it as a specialized brain built for specific tasks. Just like there are different types of human experts, there are different types of AI models, each designed for particular kinds of intelligence. We can broadly categorize AI in a few ways. The most common distinction you might hear is between narrow AI, ANI, general AI, AGI, and superintelligent AI, ASI. Narrow AI is what we primarily have today. It's AI designed and trained for a specific task. Think of the AI that recommends movies on Netflix, recognizes faces in photos, or powers your smart speaker. It excels at its one job, but can't do anything else. General AI, AGI, is the theoretical concept of AI that can understand, learn, and apply intelligence to any intellectual task a human can. We're not there yet. Superintelligent AI, ASI, goes even further, surpassing human intelligence across all cognitive tasks. This is still firmly in the realm of science fiction. More practically, when people talk about different AI models, they often refer to the different ways these models learn or the types of tasks they perform. The main ways AI models learn fall into three categories of machine learning. Supervised learning. This is like learning with a teacher. The AI is fed a huge amount of data that is already labeled with the correct answers. For example, showing an AI thousands of pictures of cats labeled cat so it learns to recognize them. Spam filters often use supervised learning to identify unwanted emails. Unsupervised learning. Here, the AI is given unlabeled data and told to find patterns or structures on its own. It's like giving a child a pile of mixed toys and asking them to sort them into groups without telling them what the groups should be. This is useful for things like customer segmentation or finding anomalies in data. Reinforcement learning. This is learning through trial and error, much like how we train a pet. The AI is given a goal and a system of rewards and penalties. It tries different actions, and if it gets closer to the goal, it gets a reward positive feedback, reinforcing that behavior. This is often used in training AI to play games or control robots. Beyond how they learn, AI models are also differentiated by their application. Large language models, LLMs, these are perhaps the most famous right now, like the one you're interacting with. Models such as GPT from OpenAI, Gemini from Google, and Claude from Anthropic are trained on vast amounts of text data to understand, generate, and respond to human language. They power chatbots, writing assistants, and translation tools. Generative AI. This is a broad category that includes LLMs, but also encompasses AI that can create new content like images, e.g., DALL-E, Midjourney, music, or even video from simple text prompts. Computer vision models. These AI models are trained to see and interpret visual data. They're used in facial recognition, self-driving cars to identify objects, and in medical imaging to detect anomalies. Natural language processing, NLP models. While LLMs are a type of NLP, NLP is the broader field of AI that deals with understanding and processing human language, enabling tasks like sentiment analysis, speech recognition, and language translation. Understanding these differences helps us appreciate the diverse capabilities of AI and how it's being woven into almost every aspect of our lives. From helping us navigate to creating art, AI models are specialized tools revolutionizing what technology can do. What kind of AI models do you interact with most often without realizing it? Does understanding these differences change how you think about AI? Share your thoughts below. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, all right. So, again, it's crazy to ask you, what AI model you find yourself using? Well, you just told us that the most common one is a large language model. And, the other two are, more so futuristic. The second one, I believe, I can't remember the actual acronym he used, but anyway, we got bits and pieces of it in it because, again, we do have some self-driving vehicles out here. We do have, a lot of optical recognition kind of stuff going on. So as well as the language translation and stuff. So we're using bits and pieces of that first one, but
Mr. Davis, I was seeing an article about the AI, which I didn't think about, right? Because we're all talking about us, the blind community, and there's the National Forest Service uses AI. And I'm like, what? So I started reading more, and what it does is scans the forest, and if it sees like like what it detects as smoke, it will log, focus on it, and then transmit the latitude longitude to the station and saying a potential fire. And I'm like, wow, that is pretty neat. Kind of scary too, but it's pretty neat.
well, I mean, again, for us, we have been hearing about, AI has been available to us, with through, like Chat GBT, and what was the first one that Google came out was a Google Bard.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah.
and then they evolved into Gemini or whatever. But, again, we've been dealing with it for maybe about a year now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in essence, AI has been around for decades. It
True.
just was not available to us. It was available to, like the Wall Street. I mean, they were making stock predictions and so on and so forth. They were using AI. Like you talking about with the Forestry Service, right? They were
Mm-hmm.
using it to help survey the forest. We was talking to that friend of ours that worked for Social Security, and she was talking about how, like, when you turn in your application for Social Security, it gets run through an AI system that assigns different codes to your case, right? And bottom line, sometimes it messes up on them codes, and that was basically what her job was. She was still working there to go in and review your case and fix those codes when AI got it wrong,
Hmm.
right? So again, it's an antiquated model that they were using by now, right? But again, I agree with what they're saying. These things are for specific things. I mean, myself personally, I've been using chat for a while. I went and got the subscription. I found that I had to keep, teaching it, if that's what you want to call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I got to the point, you know what, man, I'm tired of this. Let me try something different. So I went and I tried Gemini, and I'm not having the same problem with Gemini. Maybe Gemini is more suited for what I'm trying to do rather than, Chat GBT being suited for that. I don't know. But again, you want to move around. You want to see which one is going to give you, the results that you're looking for. But also, just like we was it didn't necessarily say it in the article, but it's something else I was reading, and we were discussing it last night in our in our AI for Beginners group. That bottom line, even the experts say, take your results and run them through 2 or 3 different models and verify your results. Again,
Mr. Davis, let
Yeah,
me
yeah,
ask you a
like a
question.
fact.
Go ahead, Mr.
I was just saying, like a fact finding type of situation,
There
like
you go.
you were saying last evening,
yeah.
and I wasn't aware that you would even have to do that. But I guess it's prevalent now in this day and age. You have to just make sure that the information you're getting and that you're putting out there or going to a display is correct. You know.
And then,
Well,
and go ahead, George.
I'm gonna ask you both because just for the youngsters that grew up with AI, right? Because that's sometimes I saw, but like I want to just interested in your perspective, Mr. Davis, life experience of you, Miss Carol. That is there going to be a point where AI takes over national or natural development of a child? Like for example, like back in the day, right? If you asked me when I was in elementary, what's the capital of Ecuador? I had to go look for it. I mean, physically go to the book and find it. Where now it just boom, you know, or I'm just wondering, is there going to be a point where it's going to take away from the kids, and now they're going to depend on that during their lifetime? You know what I'm saying? Did that make sense?
I hope not. I mean, we referred to back in the day encyclopedias,
Mm.
but they only sold them in sections, alphabetized sections. So if you had the whole collection, you were rich. But but I don't know. I mean, I just kind of look at the fact that it's like with anything, George. It's going to always be something that's more advanced than us. Like we were more advanced than our parents. I'm sure if any of you have children, your children are more advanced than you. So it's going to always continuously grow mentally, but you still have to have mindset to know that you need your mind. Like
Mm.
back in the day, we used our brain, and then calculators came along. It's like, ooh, this is so much easier, but you still have to rely on your brain. So I don't know.
Common sense, right?
Yeah, common
Yeah.
sense outweighs everything. Book sense for sure. Because most
Yeah,
of the book sense you're not using when you get out into a common situation, right?
you're right. You're right. And I know me and Mr. Davis talk about that common sense and street smarts and common sense. Some people lack the common sense part of it,
Oh
right?
yes, for
Yeah.
sure,
Well,
for sure.
I actually think it's what do they call it, oxymoron to say
Mm.
common sense because it really ain't that common because not everybody has it.
Right, you're right. Not very many people
Uh,
have it.
So, but anyway, Pedro says George is funny talking about the AI models wearing swimsuits. But anyway,
you know what, Mr. J, I'll help you with that if you want the comments.
well, I thought that's what you were here for, but
Okay,
I was just
I'll
gonna.
do it. I'm sorry. I lost my job title sheet
Uh,
there.
but
So.
uh, but anyway, I didn't really hear the question that you asked, Carol, because I was navigating while she was answering you.
I'm
No,
sorry,
I
sir?
didn't ask the question. That was
No,
George.
just me and
George was
Mr.
just
Davis. Was your life experience? I'll ask Miss Carol. Was your life experience, what you've gone through life, which makes you who the person you are now? Do you see AI as a way where kids nowadays, who grew up during this period, that depend on AI instead of using their, like we were talking about, common sense? Like, for example, back in the day, if you asked me the capital of Ecuador, I had to go look for it, like physically look for it. We didn't have Google, we didn't have all this stuff. Where now a child could, or an adult or teenager in high school could just boom get it instantly. And I just
Well, I mean, I agree, George, but we have to also consider the fact, with technology comes all of these advancements. I mean, you think about this way, way, way back in the day, right? People didn't travel, people didn't see foreign places and all this stuff. So what did they do? They actually put these images on the money.
true,
So that way you could actually see this stuff, It was almost like, your money was actually also like a postcard kind of situation.
true.
But, I mean, again, think about like when I was in school, I don't know, you remember what a peachy folder was?
No,
Well, what we called a peachy folder was a folder that you could put your paperwork and stuff in, right?
okay.
And then uh, uh, on the front, it had like sports uh, things like basketball and whatever, and so on and so forth. But when you open it up, on the inside flaps, it actually had like a multiplication table thing,
Oh wow,
uh,
okay.
all that kind of stuff, right? And they used to get mad at us for using that. I mean, again, they were giving us something that we could use, right?
Uh,
But at the same time, nowadays, I mean, again, people, they started allowing kids to bring calculators into the classroom.
yes,
Well,
sir.
what's any different than me using a timetable? You know what I'm saying? A multiplication table versus using a calculator. Calculator, you don't even have to follow the dots or the squares. You just get an answer.
So, Mr. For those who don't know, by the way, Elizabeth says good morning. For those who don't know, the youngsters, what Mr. Davis was talking now, I remember that table. So it was like basically like an Excel sheet. So coordinate, so say two on top and then two on the side. Meet those squares in the middle, and it'll say four, right? Or two or three would be six. So that's what he's talking about. Now, shoot, you have a walking computer or a computer
So
in your pocket.
So I guess what I'm trying to say, I do see AI being more of a TA, a teacher's assistant, right? As far as doing, the syllabus of the class or whatever. But is just something to give them their lessons and verify that they've done their lessons and report, their scores back to the teacher, right? And then the teacher can then kind of use the AI to tailor the lesson plan for that particular child where they're weak at, if that makes sense.
Yeah. By the way,
You
Victor
know,
Gomez from El Paso and Chris Hernandez, he's a trustee here in the local school board. Good morning, gentlemen.
okay. Well, now we know you're checking your profile conversation
I'm doing both.
comments.
I'm multitasking.
Okay.
I don't need AI for that, guys. So.
All right. But anyway, we're gonna move on to the next article. So let me go ahead and get into these promos. And then I forgot I had to
Go jump into the next article after the promos.
Yeah, well, I had to move up to the other section to let you in.
Oh, okay. Appreciate it.
Right. So, well, he was getting ready that, folks, remember, always go to our website, blindunited.org. It has all the whole schedule for the month, and it also has the link if you want to join in.
Right. So, anyway, here we go with the promos.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
Hustling jingles, $10 a shots. Birthday beats and holiday knocks. Gotcha covered for the ones you love. Personalized joy like a custom glove. Get your jingle hot and fresh. Info at blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford. Got a catchy tune for your babe. Poppin' beats like dreams we crave. For Mama's Day or Papa's cheer, let's make smiles from ear to ear. Get your jingle hot and fresh. Info at blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, we still doing jingles, y'all. I mean, it's some we do, and again, it's just for whatever occasion. I mean, you got Father's Day right around the corner. You got all kind of graduations jumping off. Again, these things are really, really neat. Yeah, I mean, they're customizable, so we can almost make it say exactly what you want it to say. So.
By the way,
come on up.
Brittany Mexico is watching. Good morning, Miss Brittany. And we have Mr. Officer Rivera, so you got to behave, guys. He's watching. And good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, but anyway, you can get at us if you're looking for a jingle, whatever, and we'll get that made up for you. info@blindunited.org. That link will also be on our website very, very shortly. So just, keep checking the website. It's brand new, so we'll definitely be adding new content as we move forward. So anyway, I'm going to jump into this new article. You're going to kind of like this one. I mean, I read a lot of different, fiction stories. I've read stuff, back in the 1800s, what they want to call the 19th century. That always amazed me. It's 1801. How are you calling the 19th century? But anyway, I did not know that. Well, I mean, I kind of knew, but this part I didn't know. I did not know. There's always been contraceptive things, but I didn't know that they literally had condoms back in the early 19th century.
Mr. Davis, what kind of story are you reading? What kind of stories are you reading, guy? I'm kind of interested now. Condoms.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
gonna
Well,
play it, George.
I'm getting ready to play it right now, George. If you shut up
Okay.
for a minute, you can, you learn. You
You know you're
learn
gonna say that
more.
because of this story. So,
Yeah, you learn more by listening, George.
uh, okay.
Okay. Are
No
you ready
comment.
to listen?
No.
Okay. Well, if we're gonna listen,
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right.
Hello, Blind United crew. Grab your second cup and join the coffee time crew, because today we're taking a fascinating detour into history, looking at an artifact that offers a unique window into past societies and their private lives. We're talking about a rare 19th century condom reportedly decorated with an unusual erotic etching and soon to go on display at a museum in the Netherlands as part of an exhibit on prostitution and sexuality. While the idea of a decorated condom from the 1800s might sound astonishing, it highlights a long and often hidden history of contraception. Throughout centuries, people have sought ways to prevent pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections, employing a wide array of materials and designs. Before the advent of modern latex, condoms were crafted from natural materials that might seem surprising to us today. This particular artifact is believed to be made from a sheep's appendix, a common material for such devices in an era when animal intestines, bladders, or even treated linen were the primary options. These early condoms were often expensive, reusable, cleaned and dried after each use, and far less effective than their modern counterparts. What makes this specific artifact so intriguing, beyond its material, is the reported erotic etching it bears, featuring a nun and 3 clergymen. This detail, if confirmed, adds a layer of cultural and social commentary, reflecting aspects of societal attitudes, humor, or even rebellion prevalent in the 19th century. Such private, intimate objects rarely survive, making this discovery exceptionally rare and valuable to historians. It offers a tangible connection to personal lives and perspectives that are often omitted from official records. The context of its display in a museum exhibit on prostitution and sexuality is also significant. Museums play a crucial role in preserving and interpreting our past, including aspects of human experience that were once considered taboo or were kept private. By showcasing such artifacts, museums provide valuable insights into historical practices, social norms, public health challenges, like the spread of syphilis and the evolving understanding of sexuality. It prompts us to consider how different societies have approached and regulated intimacy, public morality, and health throughout history. This artifact, while perhaps initially startling, serves as a powerful reminder that discussions around sexuality, public health, and personal choices are not new. It offers a glimpse into the ingenuity, the social complexities, and the often unspoken realities of life in the 19th century. It invites us to think critically about how historical objects, even those seemingly mundane or scandalous, can illuminate broader cultural narratives and human experiences over time. What are your thoughts on discovering such a unique historical artifact? Does it change your perception of past societies? And what do you think museums gain by displaying such items? Share your comments below. Now back to the coffee time crew for their thoughts.
Well, I mean, first thing I want to say is, man, I mean, an illustrated condom. I mean, a condom with illustration on it, and not only that, it's a nun and 3 priests. In different erotic positions. I mean, I'm surprised they even allowed something like this to be put out there, but something that was also, I guess, maybe it was okay back in them days, but reusable. So, what do I wash it with? Soap and water, peroxide? I mean, alcohol? What? I mean, I don't know. But it's just amazing to me that, again, number one, I didn't know that they had condoms that far back. I'm not surprised that they use, animal intestines, just because of their, number one, thinness. Number two, the lack of pores, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's going to leak or whatever, right? But I mean, all the information I had up until now was, and it was for women. Women used to take their contraceptive was a sponge, a little disc shaped sponge that was tied to a string, and they would put it up in themselves before intercourse. And the goal was for the sponge to capture all the semen, and you know what I'm saying. And then you pull it out, throw it now those were reused. They had to be washed or whatever again. But if you had multiple intercourse that night, then you had to have multiple sponges. But anyway, it's just crazy that they literally, uh, uh, you know, took it to that level back then.
I wonder if they got that concept from the Navy.
What, sponges?
No, semen. Anyways, but no, it makes sense, Mr. Davis,
Oh
because
God.
going back in time, how things have evolved from back then, right? You're right. I didn't know that. Be honest with you, I didn't realize that. Now what? Now they're edible. They have colors. They have lights and all that. But
And thankfully they're disposable.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get rid of them now. I'm amazed, but then you kind of think about back in the day. I mean, you had the bar at the bottom and the brothel at the top. So, you know, sexual intercourse was just more prevalent, and I don't remember a lot of the families. I mean, sure, back in some of the rural areas, you'd have families with 9, 10 kids, but the majority of families did not have very many children, and I know that they were having adult relations. So I'm just amazed that, whatever they were using definitely worked. And it's just to show that somebody was thinking, but priests and nuns being on
Yeah,
an
that's kind of
illustration, that kind of thing, I'm sure it was taboo back then, but, it was just more prevalent for them to just have adult relations. It was just required, it was just part of what you did. I mean, we
well,
still do that today, but it's
it's like
just
the
so
Wild
much
West,
out
right?
there now.
Back in the history here locally, California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, the Wild West, the brothels were huge parts of history, right?
Oh yeah.
When it came to the lawmen and
Hmm.
and the thing is, when Mr. Davis told me about this, I started thinking it was true because it had to start somewhere. The concept of having the condoms and to prevent whatever illnesses and whatnot, and
And I'm also thinking, not to cut you off, George, but anyway, this with this illustration on there of the nun and the three priests or whatever. I think it was more of a jab at the Catholic Church or whatever
Hmm.
about what we want to call it, extramarital sex,
okay.
fornication, being taboo and anti-religious or whatever. You
I
know
mean
what I'm saying?
trolling
Right. It
sometimes.
was a controlling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was a form of control. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
they said, okay, well, we got our own form of control, and you're on it. You know what I'm saying? And they did what they did. So,
I don't
but,
know, Mr. David. Just
But
as a man's perspective, you see that you're like, yeah, I'm good. I don't know about that. Yeah,
I want to wrap
but
myself
again,
with.
prostitution was legal then too.
true, true.
Compared to, not saying that it is in a lot of states now, but back then, every state, whatever you did is whatever you did. It wasn't just in the bedroom; it was out in the open after working a hard day's labor in the field or riding, the range and coming in to have a cool drink. You could have a nighttime snack. So.
Well, I mean, in the towns and whatnot, like you say, it was wide open. But back on the farm, mom and dad didn't put it out there for the kids to see all
True,
that.
True,
true.
that is true.
But again, it's I, again, it was just it's just to think of okay, well, look, man, look, we got to start doing something to try to prevent these unwanted children.
Mr.
And then
Davis.
they, yes, George.
I went to when we were younger. We went to a restaurant in Juarez, And in the restroom, they had a condom dispenser. I didn't know. I was like, what? I remember I was young. So I'm like, what is this? And they said French tickler. I'm like, what is that? So I put the quarter in. I put it in my pocket because, so when I got home, I opened it up. I'm like, oh, hell, what the hell is this? I didn't know. So I threw it away and my mom found it. And the trash is like, the hell are you doing with this? I don't know. I don't know what it was. But you're right. What you say about the education, even now, right? Where parents don't really educate the kids as to proper sexual behavior, right?
Right.
Stop the
I
spread
mean,
of
we're not going to stop them from having sex. They're going to be curious about sex. So it's better to educate them and show them how to prevent, any unwanted children or whatever. Not only that, in today's world, how to protect yourself from, any STDs,
True. That's true.
So this kind of stuff is really, really, really important now where like I was just saying, the original condom that they putting on display was a jab at the church. They were making a joke out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where now it's really, really important that these kids get this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And be prepared, because I don't care how much you want to shelter your kids, how much information you try to keep from your kids. Kids are going to talk. You and your children may not have those conversations, but when they get to school, they're gonna have those
They gonna
conversations
have
with
them.
with the kids that do have those conversations.
and with cell
Yeah.
phones. By the
You
way,
know,
Tisha, am I saying that correctly? Says good
yeah.
morning,
Mm-hmm.
and
Good
then
morning,
Miss
teacher.
Brittany says no glove, no love.
That's right.
Right.
So, again, and it should be that way. Unless you and your partner, again, have that understanding. And today, it's crazy. You see it all the time, where they're actually trading their test results, showing that they're clean. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
It's crazy that we've gotten to a time in our life where we actually have to show documentation that we don't have any cooties. You know what I'm
I mean,
saying? So
that's generally a first date for me. You know, if I'm thinking of being intimate with someone, and of course my risk is less than most just based on my lifestyle, but I want to know. I don't want to see your old results. I'm not going to show you my old results. Let's go together. And if it's that important, you can wait until we both see that we're both okay. Because in this day and age, with the world that it is right now, you can get stuff you can't get rid of. Really.
Remember
right,
back in the '80s with AIDS. Was the '80s? I would say, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
that AIDS came out in the 80s.
mhm. But anyways, the thing is that I'm glad Mr. Davis brought this up. This is an idea I never thought about, right? When you told me, I'm like, what? But it's true, right? Like how things have evolved regarding how do you say it? Sexual.
Contraceptives.
There we go. Thank you. I don't want to say it wrong.
Hmm.
Uh,
But it's more out there that you can get that you can't get rid of, other
yes,
than
ma'am. Mhm.
right,
HIV, AIDS, herpes.
Herpes.
It's a lot of things, and people need to be really aware that you can't always get rid of this or that with an
I heard of
antibiotic.
the new one they just discovered, Trumponitis. Have you heard about that one?
I have not.
Okay. You know,
the name sounds familiar, but I'm not familiar with what it
no,
is. But
I said Trumponitis.
oh,
Mm.
Trumponitis. Okay, well that went
Mm.
over my head, Joe.
Yeah, mine
Uh,
too.
Anyway,
I didn't catch it right off the top, but
okay.
again, today is I'd rather my children know and be aware than go out there and be stupid and end up with a house full of babies. You know what I'm saying?
Can
True.
I ask you a question? I don't know if you
True.
want to answer or not. Since you're the one that really has, me and Kurt don't have kids, did you tell your kids that, or did you let them ask you? Did you confront them, or you waited for them to?
I never ran away from a conversation with my kids, but because I had all girls for the most part, right? My wife handled that part of it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Because and she had to do the feminine hygiene and stuff and all that,
Yes,
so she basically handled all that kind of stuff, so
Right.
but again, I would I'd always been one that I would rather them know and then rather than not know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
By being informed versus being uninformed, and something happened. Like you said, nowadays you can come up with something that you can't get rid of. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, we're going to jump into these last couple promos, and then we'll get into our next article. Maybe George will let us know we got commenting while these promos are playing. Did you know Blind United offers free training in assistive technology? We call them interest groups. We offer training in JAWS, NVDA, iPhone, iPad, as well as Meta Ray-Bans. We also have groups like support group, cooking groups, and crafting groups. There are also groups for entertainment like movie night and RS game night. For more information about all the interest groups that we offer, just email us at info@blindunited.org or visit our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Group. We would love to have you be part of the Blind United crew.
June 21st, got a vibe so right. Come through the service in a day tonight. It's Blind United, yeah, we're bringing the flair. Crafts and colors floating in the air. Jewels that shine, lotion so smooth. Mosaics, baked goods, handmade grooves. You don't wanna miss this artful affair. Blind made magic, love everywhere. Jewel that shine, lotion so smooth. Mosaics, baked goods, handmade grooves. You don't wanna miss this artful affair. Blind made magic, love everywhere. You want a table, just 25 bucks. Bring your vision, your craft, your luck. Vendors welcome, come show your pride. Let your work shine, let your soul ride. It's more than a fair, it's a moment to share with a community that truly cares. So email us now, don't miss your spot. info@blindunited.org, we got a lot. Jewels that shine, lotion so smooth. Mosaics, baked goods, handmade grooves. You don't wanna miss this artful affair. Blind made magic, love everywhere. So come vibe with the crew, enjoy the day. Blind United has got it set our way. June 21st, bring your smile and light. Art and love, yeah, we'll shine so bright.
All right. Well, I mean, again, we're playing that one every day because we're coming up really, really close to the cutoff date for reserving your table, which is June 10th. I believe that's next Tuesday. But yeah, anyway, if you're a crafter, whatever, man, you want to get a table, come out and try your luck and, see if you sell some of your wares and whatever, you're more than welcome. Again, the cutoff date to reserve your table is the 10th, and the event will take place on the 21st. So if you like crafting or like purchasing crafting items, come on out and hang out with us, check it out, and, come support what we're doing. This next one is about the Black Plague. Black Death has been known by many, many, many different names. I know for years, a lot of folks blamed just, our infrastructure kind of thing, just the way life was back in the 1300s and so on and so forth. But according to this article, science has gone in and did a little digging, and then it wasn't always just about our infrastructure. Check this out.
Hello, Blind United crew. Grab your third cup and join the Coffee Time crew as we journey back in time to one of history's most terrifying events, the Black Death. In medieval Europe, this devastating pandemic killed at least 25 million people in just 5 years, wiping out a significant portion of the continent's population. 7. What makes this even more chilling is that the disease is caused by a bacterium, Yersinia pestis, that has been circulating among humans for at least 5,000 years. So, why was this particular outbreak so uniquely catastrophic? Scientists now say they have a clearer picture of why. For a long time, historians and scientists have grappled with the sheer scale of the Black Death's mortality, 1347 to 1351. While factors like dense populations, poor hygiene, and widespread malnutrition in medieval Europe certainly played a role, they didn't fully explain why this plague wave was so much more lethal than earlier or later outbreaks of the same disease. Recent breakthroughs in genetic research, particularly by studying ancient DNA from plague victims, have started to unravel this mystery. The key lies in the evolution of the Yersinia pestis bacterium itself, specifically a gene called PLA. This gene produces an enzyme that helps the bacteria spread through the host's body and evade the immune system, leading to rapid infection and death. Scientists have discovered that the strain of Y. pestis responsible for the Black Death and the earlier plague of Justinian in the 6th century had a very high copy number of this PLA gene .8. What did this mean for those infected? This highly virulent form of Y. pestis was incredibly aggressive. It could rapidly travel through the body, bypass initial immune responses, and quickly lead to a severe systemic infection, septicemia, or overwhelming lung infection, pneumonic plague, both of which were often fatal within days without modern antibiotics. The sheer speed and deadliness of this particular strain contributed significantly to the unprecedented death toll, as infected individuals succumbed so quickly, making containment almost impossible. Interestingly, research suggests that in later outbreaks of plague, and in some modern circulating strains of Y. pestis, the copy number of the PLA gene actually decreased 0.9. This evolutionary change made the bacterium less deadly by about 20% in some models, and prolonged the period an infected host could live. While this might sound counterintuitive for a pathogen, it actually gave the bacteria a selective advantage in less densely populated environments, as infected hosts, like rats, would live longer and thus be able to spread the infection further. However, for the Black Death, the extremely virulent strain, combined with densely packed medieval cities and widespread trade routes, created a perfect storm for rapid and devastating transmission. So, while Yersinia pestis has been around for millennia, it was a specific, highly virulent genetic makeup during the 14th century, coupled with prevailing social and environmental conditions, that unleashed the unparalleled devastation of the Black Death. This discovery highlights the dynamic nature of pathogens and the complex interplay between microbes, human populations, and the environment that shapes the course of history. What historical events or scientific discoveries do you find most fascinating? Does learning about the genetic aspects of diseases change your perspective on pandemics? Share your thoughts below. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Okay, well, before we jump into this one, George, I'm sorry, you got any new comments?
No, sir, not right now.
Okay, well, I mean, again, myself personally, I think that, maybe some of this new stuff like COVID or whatever, maybe that stuff might be relatively new. But a lot of this stuff has just been around forever. I mean, back in the day when people would die of certain things, they may not know exactly what the cause of death was, so they might blame it on this or blame it on that, just like, the plague and stuff we're talking about here, how, the environment and, and social infrastructure and all this other kind of stuff actually got the blame for all of this stuff. So, I mean, again, for the science to now show that it was actually a DNA genetic anomaly that, was very common back then was actually the cause for so many deaths. So, I mean, again, to me, it's, kind of solidifies what I've always thought, that a lot of this stuff has been around for a long, long time. It's just we didn't know what it was. We didn't have a name for it, so, now we do. So now we got 50 million different things that you can die from. Where back then they didn't have that many names, so they couldn't identify that many things. But
I
again,
wonder if it was
people
leaked by
people
a
still
Chinese
died.
lab.
What was that?
I wonder if it was leaked by a Chinese lab. Anyways, like you're correct, Mr. Davis, because even now with Ebola, you still hear about it. Ebola, especially like in Colorado, New Mexico, because of the mites, the rats. Ebola still pops up, but it's not like back in the day, right? When Ebola, boom, right away, that's a death sentence. And well, not really now. And for those who don't know, that song, guys, I'm gonna jack it up, but there's a kids song, Rosies, Posies, They All Fall Down, something like that. I forgot what it is. That song is because from the Black Plague. I forgot how the song goes. You know what I'm talking about, right?
A tisket, a tasket, a blue and yellow rasket.
Rosie, Rosie, something
Uh,
like that, and we
uh,
all fall down or
Something
something.
like that.
yeah, all around the
I done
roseberry
forgot.
bush, something like that, or
Mhm.
whatever. But I mean, again, it's yeah, because death was just a common thing then. With that plague, I mean, in that 4 year span, I think it was something like over 5 million people died.
25 in
Mm-hmm.
5 years. I mean, that could wipe out a whole society, really, if you think about it, right? And
Right.
Oh yeah.
And think about this. I mean, we were upset when COVID reached 1 million people here in the United States.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look back in history and well, damn, they lost millions of people. You
Yes.
know, I mean, again, thank God for advancements in technology and medicine and science and so forth, because now COVID could have been a lot worse.
Yeah,
It,
you're right.
Oh,
oh,
definitely.
Mhm.
it could have been a
Definitely.
lot worse. I mean, COVID. I mean, without the swift action that was taken, COVID could have wiped out the planet. I'm not gonna say it would have wiped out, entirely, but man, we wouldn't have to worry about overpopulation no more. That's for sure.
No.
We probably wouldn't have to worry about homelessness and all that other kind of stuff, because there'd be plenty of empty places for people to go live. But anyway,
But
I'm not.
but real
It
quick, Mr.
it
Davis, about COVID, just so those understand, like you've said this before, Mr. Davis, about know your history, right? You've said that many of times, and I've kind of latched on that when you say that, because for example, and not political, just give an example. Back in the flu of 1918, the same concept, the same practices that were done back when COVID started in 2020 was done back then over 100 years ago, where they had that social distancing. They would close down schools. They closed down libraries back in 1918. So it's not like we're new concept of we're going to shut down this, shut down that. It's because what we like you said, Mr. Davis, we've learned those we learn from our mistakes, so to speak, right? And you're right, Mr.
Supposed
Davis.
to.
I think
yeah.
if all these all these stop me, sorry, all these measures were not in place to mitigate COVID, I think you're right, Mr. Davis. It could have been a lot worse.
But a lot of this now, I mean, a lot of back then they didn't really have a lot of vaccinations and things of that sort.
True.
Not saying that it isn't more prevalent now. Some people are forced basically now to take, certain shots and precautions and things of that sort. But a lot of people they have the option to not do that. And I'm not saying that a vaccination is going to be the cure of everything, but it definitely does slow down the progress of a lot of things.
Hmm.
Now, what what it seems to be the thing that's escalating more so is, even though people are on medication, a lot of the side effects can cause this, that, or the other, that can cause illnesses too that you can't have vaccinated. So even though things are modernized, it's still so much out there that they're still not aware of, that they can't combat. But at least there's options to where things are a little bit safer now than they were back then.
Right.
True.
But let's throw this out there. Number one, like George says, learn from our history.
True.
Okay. So now history has showed us that we need to have these vaccinations and all of these safety guidelines and so on and so forth, right?
Right.
But what is our current administration doing?
Right. You're
Okay.
right.
What is our current Secretary of Health or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to do away with vaccines and all this other
Yes.
kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
They're not paying attention to history. You know what I'm
True.
saying?
Can I say
True.
to this, to
They're
Mr.
trying to
Davis?
create history that should not be. And
Exactly.
that's
And
going
then
to
I
wipe
think
out the planet.
you, Miss Carol, and Mr. Davis probably have more experience with this. Back in the day was polio, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
polio,
I have a mark on my arm right now, George. I have a childhood tattoo still at the age of 60 from that shot that had the
really?
polio vaccine in it. It's on
Oh,
my
wow.
left arm.
Okay.
Well, anybody from that era has that shot. We all have a circular scar
Mm-hmm.
on our
On
left
Is
our
that what
left
that is?
arm.
on
Yes.
our
You've seen that?
left forearm,
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
and it's because the vaccination they used a gun, George.
Mm-hmm. A
Okay.
gun.
That literally had. I mean, you've seen the guns in movies or
Yeah.
whatever,
The military.
right? But bottom line is, it was a gun that had all these different vials on top of it,
Mm-hmm.
and each gun had, it could have a different number of needles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And bottom line, when they would hit you, they'd hit you, and it would give you all of those shots all at one time,
At one time.
and it would basically leave a scar on your arm. And
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, you can identify people in my age group simply by that scar.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what I
know,
was trying to say is that by you experiencing that polio was big back then, right? Now it's unheard of. With oh wow, polio really? It's because and
Well,
like for
who
example,
don't remember Jerry Lewis and the March of Dimes? It was all about polio.
true.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Easter seals. What were they about? Polio.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And
You
they
know,
made certain shoes for them. One was higher than the other because one of the legs would be shorter.
I mean, it was all different kind of things. I mean, some of them had to wear braces on their legs. Some of them had to
Mm-hmm.
walk with braces and crutches.
Yes.
Some of them couldn't walk at all. They had to be in
In a
chairs.
wheelchair.
But
Mm-hmm.
guess what? Vaccinations did. It pretty much wiped all of
Yep.
that out.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And now, what do you want to do? You want to go
Take it away.
backwards?
Take it away.
You want to go backwards? Are you serious?
Crazy.
I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Especially in my mind anyway. I see the future of medicine being in your DNA, to where your medicines are now more tailor made for your DNA.
What did we say earlier, Mr. Davis? Common sense, right?
Well, and again, like I said, it ain't all that common, George.
No, I hear you.
Mm-mm.
That's what I'm saying. Common sense.
Because
Would
a
tell
lot
you.
of people do not have it.
Mm-hmm.
This
I
administration
mean,
doesn't have it.
no, well, he definitely don't have it, but you know, I mean, again, let's not go backwards. You know what I'm
No.
saying? I don't give a damn whether it's in our health care and our vaccines or the way we treat each other, all of these different things. You say make America great again. I still ask, when was it that great?
Hmm.
It has never been great for everyone.
Well,
That's
you know what,
right.
Mr. Davis, by saying that, it's I think part of that verbiage or tagline, whatever you want to call it, I think is part of that is erasing history. Either erasing the concept of racism, the concept of vaccines.
Well, I
the
mean, that's
concept of-
another part of their thing. I mean, they call it being woke. If you are aware of what, the Europeans did by, enslaving many, many different nationalities throughout history, right? If you're aware of that, you're woke. And they're trying to get rid of wokeness.
Mhm.
They want to be able to write the history the way they want it to be written. You know what I'm saying? But again, I think history is something that should be 100% factual.
Yes.
And I believe that we should definitely learn from our history
Mm-hmm.
so that we don't go backwards, because that's what they want us to do. They want us to go backwards. So Anyway, anybody got any more final thoughts before we get out of here? Where it's 10 o'clock.
Well, at least
No.
we went
Just
under
have a
an
terrific
hour with me,
Thursday.
Mr. Davis, so that's good.
Well, I mean, hey, I appreciate you, my brother. I'm glad you made it in. Carol, as always, you know what I'm
Carol,
saying?
yeah.
Everybody that,
But, before we leave, I just want people to, I want to take away from our conversations this whole, because each title or each article kind of touches on this, and then and it kind of sticks with me. What you've always said, Mr. Davis, about learn from our past. If it's contraceptive, if it's AI, if it's what learn from our mistakes, not to continue the same cycle, and not to regress into, oh, vaccines don't work, or there was no such thing as racism, or there was no such thing about disability, inequality. Just we have to remember that, just learn from our past and move forward, not just regress into the dark side, I guess you want to say, right? Of not having those rights.
right. And again, it's not like we're going to wipe this stuff off the planet, okay? People are going to have their prejudices and so on and so forth within their minds. But bottom line, it should not be accepted in society.
Amen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your personal thoughts are your personal thoughts. But bottom line, when I walk in that front door, motherfucker, you better treat me with some respect. I mean,
That's
I'm sorry.
right.
That's
right. No, you said it right.
So anyway, thank God it's my Friday again. So we will not be here tomorrow due to some other stuff we got going on. But again, thank everybody for coming out, hanging out with us, commenting. Please run over there, like, share, follow, subscribe, comment, all that other good stuff. It really, really does help us to get the word out to more and more people. I mean, it's not that we don't appreciate you. We do. It's just that extra little effort that you put in could allow even more people to, become aware of what we're doing here and what we're trying to do here and
the website.
creating, and again, as we say, blindunited.org, is our website. Run over there, check it out. I mean, we got a lot of good stuff there, a lot of good resources, a lot of more content to come. I mean, right now we got every resource you can think of for our community as far as California is concerned. And I got people on my team that are now working on pulling those same types of resources for every state in the country. So you'll be able to go there if you have an issue about being blind and trying to figure out which direction to go in. All you got to do is go to www.blindunited.org, click on resources, and you can find resources in your state. Cool. So anyway, just trying to do what we can for.
How about the going out music? There's no going out music, Mr. Davis.
Well, no, you didn't push that button, George.
I can't do it. I'm an outcast here. I can't push buttons. I want to push my wife's buttons. There you go. Okay. Oh, that's porno music. Never mind.
Yeah, that part. So, but anyway, everybody enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you back here again on Monday morning. Everybody have a great weekend.
Peace.